My name's Tim Merry. I work in all kinds of different places supporting people lead significant change. And my role here is I've come in to help facilitate the day and bring some experiences from other places to help people figure out things here in Sweden and Malmo. I think what we have seen today is multiple different organizations that have very, very different purposes and mandates coming together and beginning to explore how they could act together for the common good rather than just act in isolation. And so that for me is an incredibly hopeful move. It's the only thing I've really seen work for any kind of long-term change is when multiple organizations from across different sectors agree to go work together to get something done. So it feels like a good beginning. Often when you have a situation where there's multiple different stakeholders and multiple different groups coming together, people don't trust each other, you know? But we can't wait the 5 years it's going to take for the trust to build because the issues we're dealing with are urgent, right? So there's a leap of faith that we should go for it and build the trust through working together that I think is one of the most significant breakthroughs that groups need to make very early on if they're going to work together to tackle these kind of large-scale issues. And then I think the second piece is to begin to start intelligently and strategically engaging with power and influence within your community. So beginning to understand, you know, where are the places of power, where are decisions being made, where are places of significant influence that we need to be engaging with so that we are supported just enough to continue to do something fundamentally innovative rather than being stopped every single step of the way. So I think there's the kind of horizontal relationships among the different organizations and players, and then the vertical relationship up to decision makers, and then of course the relationship that begins to engage those who are most impacted. So a lot of it in this stage is about relationship building. It seems to me that we are experiencing increasing levels of uncertainty, social, economic, environmental uncertainty and unrest. We are experiencing an incredible speed of change that, I mean, the studies that are reporting about the speed of change that is taking place and the impact it is having on us is enormous. And then the amount of diversity that we are suddenly all engaging with within our communities and lives now is, I think, quite unprecedented. So when you take that level of uncertainty, you take that level of speed of change, and you take that level of diversity of opinion, perspective, race, gender, faith, right, that is all suddenly in the melting pot, you know, I don't know any other way that we're going to get through it. The days of a hero coming in to save the day are done, it seems to me. The situations we are facing are far too complex for any one person, any one sector, any one organization to have solutions to. The realities we're in are too fast changing. So I think the circumstances we are in as human beings, no matter what the sector we're in, demand that we begin to work in the way that we've modeled today, which is beginning to build bridges of relationship between multiple sectors and perspectives to try and see a bigger picture we cannot see on our own, and then to begin to move forward on concrete, specific actions together. And I think that's why human beings have been around for so long. When things get chaotic and the shift hits the fan, right, people turn to each other. But and so I think that is the basic need right now, and not as some like soft, oh, let's turn to each other and sing Kumbaya, but in terms of actually let's turn to each other and across all of our difference and disagreement, get to work. And so this is an example of that, or at least the beginnings of an example of that, and I'm looking forward to tracking it in the years to come. I think it's very difficult. I do. I think there is a lot of invested power and credibility in the way things are currently being done. And so to say, no, we need to approach things in a completely new way requires not only a change of mindset in those who are leading it, but it requires a change in the tools and practices we use, and often in the very structures of the organizations that are seeking to get the change done. So I don't think it's a small thing. But my consistent experience over the last 15, 16 years has been when you present people with a challenge, they rise to it. When you can touch their humanity and you can touch their desire to be in a world that serves everybody, people rise to that challenge. So I don't think it's easy, but no one ever said it was going to be easy. But I think it's very worthwhile. What do I think the result can be in the future? To be completely honest, I don't know. I mean, I know what I want, right? I know what I aspire to. I aspire to a world where there is greater equity, there is greater distribution of power and wealth, there is a greater capacity for human beings to organize across their difference in response to challenges, rather than fight over who has the right solution. That is what I hope the outcome will be, right? But to be honest, I can't see the future. I don't know where we're going, but I do know the reality we live in right now demands that we step up and start leading differently. Demands it, you know? And to sit around this century on your ass and watch it go by, I don't think that's an option for anybody. So I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but I know what the reality is right now, and I know that reality is a worthy opponent, and I know it is an invitation for anybody who is awake to step up and do something about it.